How do I know what size water butt I need?
Do you want to leave with this one, or do you want me to go?
Well, yeah.
Because I know that you've implemented a tool on our own webpage which kind of looks at this in a bit more detail.
Yes.
I would generally look at this from a very rainwater harvesting point of view, which might not be the full scope of what a customer should look for.
There's a rule of thumb.
Okay.
And I'll show you. I'll tell you. So, with a water butt, you want at least 100 days worth of water supply, right?
Okay, sounds like a lot, but go for it.
But how long was the driest period in the summer?
Well, I'm hoping, by you asking the question, I bet it was more than 100 days.
So when you think about it, 100 days is just over 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
Yeah. So if we did that period with the hosepipe ban, I think it started about July and it ran till about September, October time in some places. But then obviously September we started to experience rainfall. So if you want 100 days worth of storage, you need to figure out what size watering can you have, because most gardens obviously use a water can to water their garden. So if you have, use this as an example, a 1 litre watering can, you need to figure out how many times or how many 1 litre watering cans it takes to water your garden a day. So say you've got, in my garden, I don't have a garden, but say garden at home, it takes me 3 1 litre watering can to basically water my garden with, which means I use 3 litres of water a day.
Yeah.
And obviously you times that by 100 to give you
your 300 litre water butt.
Yeah, to give you your 100 days of supply, you therefore need a 300 litre water butt.
Okay, because when we think about water butts in terms of their volume, and we do compare that to rainwater harvesting, we know from rainwater harvesting that the yield is generally very easy to achieve, certainly to fill a water butt. You probably just need to have 1 rainfall event and you've got a full water butt. So that 100 days is really easy to capture if you have something the water butt in place. That's just something to bear in mind. Just building on what you said, I think you also probably want, with your 300 litre water butt, you kind of want to also consider where you're going to put that container. So think about the size and the shape. I mean, with Graph, we have loads of decorative water butts, so colour might also be something that you want to consider as well. But there's no point in buying yourself a 1,000 litre container. Firstly, if you say you're not going to need that much water.
No.
And secondly, if you've got no place to put the container, which is going to be kind of discreet and out of the way. I mean, you might want it as a feature piece in your gardens if it is one of the decorative style. But if you've got a great big container, you might want to kind of hide it out the way and then use it when required. But I think location of where you're going to put it is also something that people should be considering as well.
Yeah. And like with one great example is one of our most popular ones is the Slim Stone wall tank. That's 300 litres. Obviously, would give you 100 days to supply if you had a 3 litre watering can. However, the height of it, I believe, is about 1.8, and the actual width, I believe, is about 600 millimeters. So, like say about location, is you can fit this very slim water butt in a very tight space, and if you obviously have a tight space in your garden, you can have a very slim water butt, but still capture a high yield of rainwater to reuse in your garden.
Yeah.
So that is my rule of thumb. Figure out to give you 100 days of water supply. Obviously, it doesn't have to be 100 days. Basically, take your watering can, see how many times it takes you to water your garden, and then times that by however many days you need your days, and that will give you your liters of water in storage that you will need for your water butt.
Yeah,
that is my rule of thumb. I haven't trademarked here, copyrighted or anything just yet, but that is the rule of thumb and what you should go about using.